We've had over the last few weeks in the Parshas the description of the kelim, of the vessels of the Mishkan, as well as the big day kahuna, the garments that the Kohanim would wear when serving in the Mishkan or in the Beis HaMikdash. But there's one kli which stands out as being left for Parshas Sisa, and that is the kior, the basin from which the Kohanim would have to wash their hands and their feet before doing the avodah. And the question is, why is it separated from all others? There's another question as well. The position that the Torah describes for where the kior was placed seems out of place. It tells us that it was bein Ohel Moed or bein HaMizbeach, between the Ohel Moed and the Mizbeach. And what that would mean is that when entering to get to the kior, which is necessary in order to do any avodah, which is necessary before bringing korbanos on the Mizbeach, you would have to walk past the Mizbeach, wash, and then go back and afterwards do the avodah. Why? It would be like going to the Kotel Plaza, first going to the wall, then being able to wash your hands. No, the sink is at the front. The sink is there beforehand. It seems to be that it is out of place. What's the significance of the Torah requiring that first we bump into the Mizbeach, followed by the kior, if that's necessary for avodah? So the Sforno says that the reason that the kior was separated from the other klei Mishkan was because functionally it was different than the other kelim. It was not part of avodah per se, rather it was used in preparation for avodah. Every other kli had a task as part of the avodah, as part of the service that was done with it. But the kior was designed as a preparation for the avodah. And on a certain sense, that's obvious. But what is he telling us? What's the significance of that distinction? Perhaps the idea is that what the Torah is teaching us is that the role of the kior is not just for technical preparation, but it's a mindset as well. Before one enters into doing something which is special, a person needs to focus on what he or she is doing. So the kior is different than everything else. It is a necessary component of the preparation, because if you go into avodah, if you go into service of Hashem and you don't prepare beforehand, it is not the same type of experience. And the Torah goes one step further here. You know what the Torah says? If you just walk in off the street and you're the Kohen who's coming off the street and you go in and you try to do the avodah right away, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's not enough to walk in, wash your hands quickly, and start doing the avodah. You need to understand and think about what you are about to do. So the Torah obligates the Kohen. By definition, we know what you're going to do. You're going to walk in and you're going to see the Mizbeach. Oh, I'm about to serve Hashem. And that creates a certain mindset. Then we go to the kior, wash hands, finish the avodah of preparing, and then go back and do what is absolutely necessary for the avodah itself. It's a different type of preparation if you pause and you think. If you come off the street and you try to walk into shul and think you're going to start Shemona Esrei and be able to daven like that and be able to focus and concentrate, it's not going to work. It's very difficult. But if you walk in, Ashrei Yoshua B'Secha, and you sit down and you prepare. If you walk in and you look around at the grandeur of an Aron Kodesh, then your tefillah is going to be a different type of tefillah. If when Shabbos is coming, you can stop and pause in order to be prepared for Shabbos, it's a different type of Shabbos. Rapinka says, Shabbos now is getting a little bit later. Somehow it's always to the last second. Always to the last second. Why does it have to be such a rush? Rapinka suggests that the Yetzer Hara knows that a Shabbos which we go into with preparation is a different type of Shabbos. And the Yetzer Hara understands, I can't get the Jews on Shmir Shabbos. That ship has sailed. I'm not going to get them to be Mechalel Shabbos. But you know what I can get them to do? Is to be able to not gain the full benefit of a Shabbos. And if I can make it all harried and stressful and difficult before Shabbos, then they're not going to get everything that Shabbos has to offer. Because Shabbos and everything else that has value requires pausing, it requires reflection, and it requires preparation. That's the message of the kior. The kior being placed bein ha-mizbeach, bein Ohel Moed or bein ha-mizbeach, is that when you walk in, even when you're preparing, it's not just a technical washing of the hands. It's noticing, it's paying attention. Wow, I'm in the Mikdash. I'm in the Mishkan. There's a Mizbeach here. And now I can go forward. And now I can have that relationship with Hashem. Something to think about. Whenever we engage in Kedusha, whether it be davening, whether it be Shabbos, is to see how can I do, how can I prepare, how can I make sure that I go in with a mindset that this is going to be a spiritually uplifting experience and opportunity to hopefully get closer to Hashem.